What if I told you that one of the rarest human traits on Earth is hiding in plain sight? Green eyes seen in less than 2% of the global population aren't just beautiful. They're a scientific anomaly, a psychological magnet, and a genetic mystery that almost shouldn't exist. These eyes don't actually contain green pigment, yet somehow glow like emeralds under sunlight and shift color depending on emotion, environment, and even weather. From ancient myths to modern genetics, green eyes have been feared, worshipped, romanticized, and misunderstood for thousands of years. Today, we're diving deep into the science, symbolism, and surprising advantages of the rarest eyes on the planet. Green eyes have always carried an air of mystery and almost mythical quality that feels timeless, hypnotic, and unforgettable. Across the world, only a tiny percentage of the human population is born with naturally green eyes. And this rarity alone has shaped centuries of legends, scientific curiosity, and cultural fascination. When you meet someone with green eyes, there is something strikingly unique about the way their irises capture and reflect light, sometimes glowing golden under the sun, sometimes deep and forest-like under shade, and sometimes pale and icy, depending on their environment. They appear to shift and evolve in color, almost as if they're alive. People often describe green eyes as magnetic, unpredictable, or seductive. But why? What is happening beneath the surface that makes green eyes so visually captivating? And how did such a rare trait survive human evolution? Today, we're diving into the full explanation of green eye shades, the science behind their formation, how lighting and genetics influence their appearance, the psychological perception people have of them, and the surprising advantages, social and biological, that come with having this rare color. This is not just a breakdown of eye pigmentation, it's the entire story of green eyes, told from multiple angles: science, history, psychology, and human behavior. If you've ever wondered why people seem more intrigued by green eyes than any other color, or why they appear to glow like emeralds in certain environments, this episode will take you deeper than you've ever gone before. Let's begin. Green eyes exist at the strange intersection of biology, physics, and genetic lottery. Unlike brown or blue eyes, which are relatively straightforward, green eyes are created through an optical illusion shaped by low melanin levels, unique light scattering, and a golden pigment called melanin. What makes them particularly fascinating is that the eye doesn't actually contain green pigment. Instead, what we see is the result of three interacting factors. First, green-eyed individuals have low to moderate amounts of melanin in their irises, not as low as blue-eyed individuals, but significantly less than those with brown eyes. This moderate melanin amount allows more light to scatter inside the iris. Second, the Tyndall effect, the same principle that makes the sky look blue, scatters shorter wavelengths of light when this scattered blue light mixes with the natural golden tint provided by pheomelanin. The result is a blended green appearance. This means that green eyes are essentially a visual combination that depends heavily on lighting conditions. Third, green eyes are genetically complex. While early researchers believed eye color came from a simple, dominant, and recessive gene pair, modern genetics shows over 16 genes influence pigmentation. That's why green-eyed children can come from parents without green eyes, and why the color is unevenly distributed across the world. Surprisingly, although green eyes are often associated with specific European regions, they appear, though rarely, across the Middle East, Central Asia, Southern Latin America, and certain isolated populations worldwide. This fragile genetic recipe explains why green eyes are so rare. The conditions for producing them are delicate, somewhat unstable, and highly dependent on ancestral migration patterns and long-term gene mixing. Yet despite their rarity, green eyes persist, which leads us to a deeper question. What evolutionary purpose might green eyes serve? Green eyes aren't one universal color. There are multiple subtypes, each shaped by the delicate balance of melanin, light scattering, and iris structure. Let's break down each one. Pale green eyes. Pale green eyes almost resemble a diluted emerald or sea glass. With very low melanin levels, these eyes often appear icy and translucent. The golden flecks around the pupil may be more noticeable due to the lack of darker pigment. People with pale green eyes usually experience dramatic color shifts depending on light, sometimes appearing grayish, sometimes golden, and sometimes bright mint green. True green eyes. This is the classic storybook green-rich, vibrant, and distinctly emerald. True green eyes balance melanin and phenylalanine perfectly, giving them a consistent hue in most lighting conditions. They tend to appear green from all distances, unlike paler shades that wash out from afar. Yellow-green or hazel-green eyes. This shade leans warmer and resembles the color of fresh olive oil or sunlit moss. Hazel green eyes often contain a visible ring of gold around the pupil, with outer regions transitioning between green and brown. They change color the most dramatically, often appearing more golden or brown when wearing darker clothing. Blue-green eyes. These eyes often lean blue in bright environments, but reveal their green undertones in softer lighting. They typically contain low melanin, but enough phenylalanine to produce a subtle green overlay. Up close, they may appear turquoise. Dark green eyes. Dark green eyes are the rarest subtype. These eyes contain slightly more melanin than the average green eye, giving them a deep, forest-like shade. They can look almost black indoors, but reveal their rich, evergreen color under sunlight. Each shade carries its own aesthetic identity, shaped by the individual's lighting environment, genetic ancestry, iris fiber density, and even hormonal factors. This variety is part of what makes green eyes so mesmerizing. No two pairs are truly identical. The color-shifting phenomenon of green eyes is one of their most enchanting qualities. Unlike brown eyes, which remain consistent, or blue eyes, which mostly lighten in bright environments, green eyes behave almost mood-like, altering between shades, depending on a variety of external influences. In natural sunlight, green eyes tend to intensify due to the Tyndall scattering of blue wavelengths. The golden pigment beneath becomes more visible, producing a glowing, jewel-like appearance. Indoors, especially under warm lighting, green eyes may take on a more amber or hazel tone. One of the most surprising influences is clothing. Green eyes reflect surrounding colors more dramatically than other eye shades. Wearing black or dark blue makes them appear brighter and clearer. Wearing earthy, tones brown, gold, olive brings out their warm, golden undertones. Cloudy days often make green eyes appear cooler, almost bluish. Sunny environments emphasize their warmth. Pupil dilation alters how much of the iris is exposed. During emotional states, excitement, fear, attraction, the pupil expands, making the green ring appear darker or more intense. Green eyes can deepen or soften with age, especially during hormonal fluctuations in adolescence, pregnancy, or certain medical treatments. This shape-shifting ability gives green eyes a reputation for unpredictability, contributing to centuries of mythologizing, storytelling, and artistic symbolism. Green eyes carry a psychological impact that goes beyond aesthetics. Studies in perception, attraction, and associative color psychology reveal something fascinating. Humans often attach personality traits to rare features, and green is one of the rarest because only a tiny percent of people have green eyes. Observers may unconsciously assign traits like mystery, intelligence, sensuality, emotional depth, or unpredictability. Culturally, green eyes are often depicted as cunning, magical, seductive, or powerful, from mythological beings to fictional heroes and villains. This long-standing cultural history shapes the way our brains interpret the color today. When people see green eyes, they're often reminded of fantasy imagery, emerald forests, gemstones, or supernatural characters, which reinforces their mysterious reputation. Green eyes come with several fascinating advantages, some biological, others social or psychological. There's also a social factor. Rarity increases perceived value. When humans encounter something uncommon, whether a rare gemstone or a rare eye color, they naturally assign heightened importance. Green eyes fall precisely into this psychological category: stronger social impressions. Because green eyes stand out, people are more likely to remember individuals who have them. This can create advantages in interpersonal interactions, first impressions, and social influence. Perceived attractiveness. Multiple surveys consistently rank green eyes among the most attractive eye colors worldwide. This has nothing to do with objective beauty and everything to do with rarity and symbolic associations. Photographic advantage. Green eyes tend to capture light beautifully in photographs, often appearing vibrant and reflective. Photographers frequently highlight green eyes because they pop against a variety of backgrounds. Good balance of light sensitivity. Green eyes contain more melanin than blue eyes, but less than brown eyes. This gives them a versatile balance, less sensitive than blue eyes, in bright light but not as resistant as brown. This middle ground may offer aesthetic and functional benefits. Color adaptability. Green eyes can shift toward multiple hues: golden, blue, gray, brown, depending on clothing and environment. This flexibility is rare and highly valued in cosmetics, fashion, and modeling. Throughout history, green eyes have played symbolic roles across civilizations. In ancient cultures, they were often associated with gods, royalty, or supernatural beings. Some cultures viewed them as signs of fertility, good fortune, or spiritual insight. Others feared them, associating green eyes with witches, shapeshifters, or mystical creatures. In medieval Europe, people believed green eyes represented intuition and magic. In the Middle East, green eyes were linked to protection against evil spirits. In modern storytelling, from fantasy novels to films, green-eyed characters are frequently portrayed as powerful, mysterious, or otherworldly. These millennia of symbolism contribute to the psychological impact green eyes carry today. Green eyes are a perfect blend of science, art, rarity, and symbolism. They are not merely a biological feature, they represent a long chain of human evolution, cultural memory, and psychological influence. Their unique ability to shift colors, glow under sunlight, and convey depth in storytelling makes them one of the most fascinating human traits. Whether pale, true green, yellow-tinged, turquoise, or dark forest green, each variation tells its own story, shaped by genes, light, and the environments that molded generations before us. Green eyes are more than just a color. They are a phenomenon.